All right, welcome back to another Project Ascension Hub stream. Today, well, my public service to the world of buying these recipes and post them on the auction house for a slight markup did not work today. I've already sold one set of these though. This person trying to sell it for $62 is that's that's corruption right there. That's capitalism taken to another level. Then I got this battle scythe. Felt like someone might want it. Set it for 300. All right, let's tone that down a bit. Let's just go to $50. See if someone buy that. And if someone buys my recipe, they're gonna need some of these. So, yeah, today we're just gonna do some grinding and try to finish out this build. We're doing something like a little bit of an experiment. We're rolling a build that is centered around Booming Thunder as well as Frost Conductor or Hydromancer from the Area 52 Legendary Enchant. So we got a good number of pieces, some good stuff. Need a lot of upgrades still. A lot of our lightning synergies still need their capstones to do some, crazy cool stuff. Yeah, like as you can see here, I'm Unrelenting Storm, Lightning Overload. Those aren't complete yet. What else? Honor Among Thieves, because we do have Fulmination, which is like a Chain Lightning as a combo finisher. And the benefits of that, or the reason why you would even have combo points to begin with, is because there's also a version of Lightning Bolt that gives you combo points. Energy Bolt. And it might do more damage. It's hard to tell because that one's not scaled up. So yeah, but we're also going for stuff like Conductor, Booming Thunder. Yeah, a lot of stuff. But the goal tonight is just to play the game, enjoy it, and also I'm kind of recording this for the tail end of the summarized video that I put all together for these streams that I've been doing on this new character, this account. To start off as starting a fresh account so that I could kind of put into practice some of the things that I've been suggesting to other players, but also I was just kind of having that itch to start fresh, like, fresh everything. It does suck not having some vanity things. Whoops, need to reload. But it's really the only way to simulate like not having skill cards, that sort of thing. And that has actually been kind of fun. I kind of wish there was a way to do some sort of like solo self-found kind of like project or Path of Exile or something where you could say, oh, I want this character to be self-found only. Like I only want it to use the stuff that I unlock on it. But I understand that probably be technically difficult. So we're going to check the price on Tome of Specialization 2. It's under 1,000. It's 1 gold under. That's under. We did some farming the other day when we did our own dailies and sold a good number of items. Money's not real. I think we're just going to get it. Thanks for saving me the 1 gold. Maybe we'll roll off that spec later. And I set out wanting to grind and like make this prestige go really fast. Let's see here. We need to make space. There's got to be something in here that we don't need. We don't need this Fang of the Leviathan. Anyways. Yeah, so I was trying to like go really fast. Like chapter 4 is here. We can grind like bare minimum amount of marks of ascension, and then we can just go, go, go. And even though that is true to a certain extent, um, oh, we do have some rolls to do before we can get out there. Yeah, we got almost 500 rolls. Even though that is true, like it's a lot easier to roll now. We got to buy more actually. I kind of forgot one of the most important parts and the thing that I enjoy most, which is, well, I already said it, enjoyment. Have fun. Like that's the most important part of any video game, in my opinion. But you you got to kind of stay centered around like, why am I doing this? Why am I trying to build this? Why am I playing it all? And for me, it's always been that enjoyment of discovering what I can make, what I get. I actually do like seeing the build progress, starting with like nothing or simple things, and then ending up with some crazy build that has tons of synergies. Like my main's first build, I think I tried to make a shadow bear because you get tank stuff, the tank cards for free at the very beginning, and this was at the beginning of the season when no one really had cards. So spec 1, I was like, okay, let's do a tank, bear tank, shadow bear, and I ended up getting just tons of shadow priest and warlock synergies, and ended up making this crazy weird caster with tons of shadow priest stuff, along with sprinkled with some warlock stuff, and I really enjoyed that. That was fun. And I didn't really have, there was no build architect at the time. I didn't have a plan. It was just like, I'll take what I get and I'll discover the synergies as I get them. And this particular run, I kind of been like, oh no, I gotta try to roll these builds. I gotta hyper roll them. And it kind of lost that enjoyment for me. So that's what we're doing today is we're recentering, going out, and I do enjoy farming. I do enjoy grinding the marks of ascension and everything to a certain extent. But we're just gonna go do those things, enjoy playing, and also take a time to appreciate and have fun with the advancements that our build gets. We're gonna hit that talent, hit that whatever ability, and we're gonna be excited about it, right? So let's take a look at what the profession dailies are today. Crystal infused leather. We have some of that. I'm pretty sure. We're also going to be talking about, as we're farming and doing things, some of the stuff that I would suggest to players that I think I am now, I guess, reevaluating. What I just said about making sure you're having fun, I think is core to everything. Always be asking yourself, like, why am I doing this? I saw plenty of players trying to like make a build work. And if I asked them like, well, why are you trying to build that? You know, it'd be like, well, because it's meta or this or that, and sometimes like they're going against their own philosophy of trying to do something. So I think it's important. Oh, 4, exactly how many we needed. To always remember like why you're doing it, and I think it's gonna keep you motivated. Netherweave cloth. Is it better for me to use? We do have a lot of netherweave stacked up. I think it's better for me just to use it because we're not anywhere near. Let's see. That's 62, 82. Let's get one more stack. 9. Actually, I don't know how many we need. Just get it all. We're not anywhere near max uh, first aid, so it's more valuable to us just turning it in. Hello? Are we crashing? Reload again. One of the first things I think I have thought differently about now. What is going on? Heavy leather too. We might have some of that. Is our stuff broken? I could pick that one up. Let's drop it and then pick it back up. Okay, that worked. We only had 2. But at least this means Netherweave cloth is selling for a bit today. And maybe we can get some money for what we do have. If you notice there, it took away that one quest. And it said quest of this group or something, something, something. So there's groups of quests like you see in the PvE dailies. There's 2 zones or 2 sets of quests in the single zone that you can do. Yeah, I tried turning it on, it still wasn't working, but dropping and redoing it worked. But there's certain quests that share groups. So if you complete one, sometimes you'll complete like that one I did the Netherweave cloth turn in, and the Netherweave bandage was in the same group. So just keep that in mind, especially with professions, because you want to do the one that's easier or cheaper, right? In the same group. So just keep that in mind whenever you're doing same thing with like the boss daily in PvE. So those are shared. There's 2 bosses every day that you can do, but when you kill one, you're getting progress. That little number here on the right side, you're getting progress for both of them. Just remember that. Let's go see how much the infused charred steak is. Turn those in, and then maybe we'll go farm some of the leather. Might even have some heavy leather in our bag. Infused. Okay. I already forgot what I was looking for, so I'm glad I picked it up. $50. It's not bad. I think we need 5 of them. See, I just spent 288 gold to do this, but I actually charged yesterday whenever the daily, actually 2 days in a row, the daily was nether scales, like the dragon nether scales or whatever. And I actually sold those for 65 a turn in. So, you know, it's just a cycle. Don't get too bent out of shape about it. Man, I am jumping around all over the place when it comes to talking about my things that I've rethought. So the other things that I've rethought about is the starting items. Like the first items people say that you should buy whenever you're a new player. I think usually people will suggest the book. And even though it is very inconvenient when you're like out in the world and you need to upgrade your spells after you've learned them or whatever, there are so many people with the books and the banks and everything now that, see, check this out. Let's just do professions first. Look, 2 people with, or there's one that's the weapon trainer. There's a book of artisan right there, which that one's a little harder to find. But the class trainers, look how many are out right now. I just don't think it's necessary to feel pressured to buy that. I mean, it is one of the cheapest options or cheapest items, but I would say that those feathers that give you your flight paths are even more valuable, and they're probably cheaper or about the same price as the books. So, yeah, or just throwing that gold towards your mount. But like feather of the ancients, yeah, look at that, 125, 239. That's dirt cheap. And then the books are 612, 849. So, anyways, it's not that bad. Like me, whenever I reroll, I'm usually sitting in city doing tons of rerolls anyways. So once I finish them, I'll just go over to a book and train. You know? Wow. So many turn-ins just from doing those profession quests. What's some other things that I had suggested to newer players and I'm now rethinking? I guess there's a little bit too much investment in telling people, you know, set yourself up for synergy rolls when you are leveling. And I still think that's a good idea. Like, you should still just pick what you like. Like, if you like Frostbolt, you should pick Frostbolt level 1. And there's maybe a chance that you get some relevant things, and hopefully you can make some Frostbolt related build whenever you are leveled up. But this run, sometimes it just doesn't work. Like this run that I just did, hardly any synergies. I was getting all sorts of crazy stuff. However, if you're a tank, because when you pick, say, like bear form, you get the taunt and swipe and stuff. I think it throws your synergy rolls into overdrive, like because you have this overwhelming number of things that are like tank related. So, uh, if you want a synergistic build like very early on, and you like to tanking is a pretty easy way to do that. Taking one of the tank stances, and you get that stuff. And I've experienced that multiple times with like running Bear, Righteous Fury while leveling. It seems like the synergy rolls are crazy strong. Whoops. But yeah, be prepared to, stuff not to work out, but don't be discouraged. Eventually get it. One thing that we're doing today that I think is a good strat, and I want to suggest to more people is, you know, I would tell people not to go rapid roll first, to always single roll your abilities until everything in your build is doing something for you, until it has a function. I still think that's good advice, but if you're really not feeling like doing run by one and rolling and seeing every single thing that pops up, I don't think it's a bad idea to load up like multiple builds, preferably, or I think it's a better idea to do some that have some sort of overlap. Like tonight we're doing Booming Thunder and Frost Conductor. And if you load up multiple builds, like these that I'm doing have tons of the same elemental shaman talents that it's looking for, then you could kind of split your bet between two different builds and rapid reroll and have a large amount of things that will hit, and then you can kind of make use of a weird build in the meantime. But as you start going one direction or the other, you can refine and rapid roll, and that way you say you're happy with going either direction. You have more hits to get. You can see which direction RNG is going to push you, and then you can decide to like go strong into one build or the other. So I think that's one thing that I'm going to start suggesting more to people. Just load up on your rapid roller. All right, let's go see if we have heavy leather in our bank. I have a little bit. Don't know how much I should have picked up the quest. 20? Okay. Maybe we're farming that ourselves. Crystal infused and heavy leather. Those are the only two that I think we'd want. Where is a good place to farm heavy leather? It's like the dragons and Dust Swallow. Ulterac Mountains. Guess we can go to Stranglethorn so we don't have to go to the other continent. That's fine. Actually, let's do rapid rolls first. I love that it saves them, but I wish it would also keep the builds that I chose down there. But at least it saves what the stuff my desired spells are. Frost Conductor. Rapid rolling that. And Booming Thunder. Rapid rolling that. And then yeah, I think that's plenty actually. Okay. The reason I did that is because I want to lock all build spells. Lock all build spells. So I want to make sure that I lock them all. Okay. We're not even dealing fire damage. I thought I would be casting some insta-cast Pyroblast, so we're not even doing that right now. What? I thought this was locked. Got a lot of 3% damage stuff. Got a good amount of hit, too. Close Strike has actually been kind of nice doing dailies. And that's the other thing about your build. Like, it's okay that you have a jank build early on. Sometimes there's stuff that's nice to have just for, like, daily questing. Don't think we care about enslaved demons since we have Felguard. Just don't want to deal with it. Okay. Ooh, cool. Desired ability. Let's go. Sweet. We needed a counter spell actually. I was trying to do a mythic early on and like no one had to interrupt and it was very painful. And it was in Akanai Crypts, I think. The one where they have the priest that will send you to the other side. Yeah, this is for Lightning Bear. Anyways, yeah, so people were getting sent to the other side and we could not bring them out because no one had a stun or interrupt somehow. Yeah, we're not using this. Uses Frost Nova modifiers. This might be okay because once we get we don't need focus magic, we have the better version. Once we get the thing that allows, oh, there's energy belt, sweet. That's awesome. All right, we can now re-roll lightning bolt. All right. Okay, we got water bolt. We want hydricals because it's like an AoE, but we will take. Here, let's train these up really quick. Let me see the numbers on them. No. Okay, literally everywhere. Every time I turn on that filter and it's like the map tells me they're literally all around you, dummy. For some reason I just can't see the books until I turn the filter on the map. Okay, so Frostbolt. Regular Frostbolt does 612 to 663. Yeah, this one does more damage. You don't get the slow effect. That's the difference. Necesito oro. Tengo que ir a conseguir para las cartas de habilidad. I'm gonna tell this guy something. Simplemente haz los quests de marcas. Seguirás. Is that the plural? There we go. Answered. All right. And then same thing with lightning bolt. An energy bolt. Yeah, an energy bolt also does more damage. Holy cow, it does a lot more damage. Oh, it costs energy. That's right. So you can't spam it as much, but that's fine. Just gonna re-roll these really quick so they can show up in our. That way they can show up in here. Oh, wind shear's better than counterspell. Right? Has a shorter cooldown. I guess it has slightly shorter range. Maybe counterspell like blocks them out for longer. Yeah, we don't really care about that though. Don't need that now. Stone shard, awesome. We're getting a lot of the good core rotation abilities. We are getting some hits. All right, sweet. We got to upgrade for one that we're about to reroll. Sweet. That's a good hit too. All right. Why do we want this? It's just because it goes up to 5 spell haste, I guess. Wait, what? Why is this here? I'm confused. Why do I have this? Am I using, what build had that? I wonder if it's just like a visual bug. Did the Frost Conductor build have it for some reason? Why? Why was that there? Oh crap, did we actually need conduit? Whoa. Whoops. Yeah, hopefully if they keep a similar system in the next season, hopefully they fix the issues with the UI. Okay, let's find some of those new talents that are not capped that we want to get rid of before they start rolling upgrades like we've already had. Okay, looks like just those two. I mean, I guess this is usable for now. With Water Bolt. Couldn't have given me that capstone. This sounds like a fun thing for like the fire hunter. Kind of want to do that soon. and thunder. Got it. That's it. That's what we wanted. Awesome. I guess let's get rid of Bless. We have a lot of 3% damage. 1, 2. Oh no, that one's just crit. I think the other ones are locked. But we have a lot of them, so I guess we'll go ahead and get rid of that one. Like 3% damage talents are good, but there's only so many you can take before you don't have room for other things in your build. Oh, where's that talent at? Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that. Yeah, it's another 3%. Just give me the capstone. Stop doing that. It's crazy that we rolled 1 of 5 on that. We're already up to 4 of 5 on it now. I don't even think it's in. All right, there we go. I mean, it's not the best one. I think we have another reach. Yeah, we have destructive reach and elemental reach. I mean, I guess this one's 4% crit. This one's 6% spell damage, but come on, I'm about to reroll that. Nice. We're getting there. Nice. What was do we have booming echoes? I think we do. No, we don't. What does Frost Flame Shock count as? Flame Shock? But I wonder... I imagine since it counts as Flame Shock, it does... fire magic. That school. I imagine it does that school of damage for booming echoes. Are we supposed to have Frost Shock? Huh. I wonder if it's that Hydro Thunder one that that uses it. Because we don't use shocks in regular Frost Conductor, do we? I don't think so. Oh, wait. Am I wrong? Oh, Ice Shock. Okay. That makes sense. So that's like our single target. Do we have Ice Shock already? No? Well, it was in my... It's not here, game. Well, I wonder how long that's been messed up. Sweet. Light shield gains presented, blah, blah, blah. I don't think this works with I think this Hydro one is like a melee version. So there are some things that we don't want out of it. It's Hydro. This Booming Thunder Hydro. I mean, it's just like somebody's like, I think they just uploaded it to kind of like get a theory down somewhere. I mean, I recognize this name. But yeah, I think that is just there for... Oh, I don't have all the other ones turned on, do I? Yo, he doesn't have this in his either. Where is it coming from? Must be Frost Conductor. I guess I need to go watch his video again to understand why the synergies are there. Yep, I guess that's what I have to do. But for now, I'm just going to figure it out as I go. We don't really need this because we're not spending mana on our lightning bolt anymore. All right, cool. Now we need to find some other talents we don't want. I guess enhancing totems can go. I guess ancestral knowledge can go, even though I like stacking intellect. I guess 3% crit can go. 3% haste can go. We'll start there. Actually, let's start there. Wait, do we want that? We do want that. That was part of Frost Conductor. Okay. I can never know if I never can tell if the against frozen targets only counts for, like, if you have Fingers of Frost up. I never knew if that capstone makes all spells their damage increased by 12% against frozen targets while you have Fingers of Frost up, even if it's a spell that doesn't interact with Fingers of Frost. I feel like only abilities that actually have a frozen target, I guess, modifier of some sort, I feel like only they are the ones who benefit from that 12%. Because otherwise, you could just like take that and take something that triggers Fingers of Frost and just have like a 12% damage buff on all spells. I just don't think it works that way. because I think we'd see it a whole lot more. Like any sort of elemental build that could trigger Fingers of Frost somehow. I feel like they would always take that. So this can technically be 8 crit, but we have to juggle it, so I think we just get rid of it. Okay, there's that. Do we have any other pushback stoppers? No, we don't. Do we have any that are locked? Oh, this one. Okay, that's fine. How much hit do we actually have? We have a lot. Holy. We have 11% worth of hit, mostly from just talents. 20, 38. Yeah, we have 38 hit rating on our items. So all the rest of this comes from our talents. It's crazy. All right, so what talents? We really need hydricals for these frost, like piercing ice, and the other one to really pop off. Guess we have a lot of crit. Still need a persistent fire totem. We do have a bunch of crit stuff. We could probably tell some of these 3% damage talents to take a hike soon. We do have 4 intellect stacking talents. All right. Let's go hit a dummy. See what kind of damage we do now just from changing that. I mean, all we're really still doing is spamming lightning bolt. Oh yeah, we need this. Oh, some of these are not leveled up, I just realized. Rip. Yeah, Stone Shard and Frost Flame are not leveled up. So those huge Booming Thunder hits that we got, we didn't get them. Just casting my spells. I feel like I should be casting Stone Shard. Like, making sure I always cast that. No matter what the situation is with my stacks. Which I think that's how Booming Thunder was before. You didn't care what your stacks were at. You just Stone Shards up, you cast Stone Shard. Okay, well we boosted our DPS a little bit, I think. We haven't done any cooldowns either. Guess we can do that really quick. Wow, that was a lot of resets. But we did boost our DPS a little bit. Yeah. Energy Bolt, Stone Shard. Alright. Let's go do some dailies. Oh. And by that I mean let's go farm some leather. Where's it out on the map? It's like kind of in the middle. I guess we'll fly here. less engage farming mode. Actually, let's watch that video. Let's see. No, I just want to go to normal YouTube. Nordic Boomer Chef Gaming. There it is.
Greetings, adventures and
Whoa.
foodies. Today we bring the storm and freezing everything in our path with the Frost Conductor build. A perfect blend of Frost Ray and the Hydromancer talent with a spark of lightning to create the ultimate Ice Age for your enemies. This build is all about combining frosty magic with electrifying power to deliver a 1-2 punch that'll leave your enemies frozen solid and crackling with
We're gonna
the moment I saw
learn
Frost
what
Ray
the
in Chapter 3 release video, I knew I had
static
to make a build around it. At first I was thinking
whatchamacallit tech
but then
is.
it came over to this. The Ice Beam of Destruction was just too good to pass up, and while Frost Ray brings the cold, Hydromancer adds even more frosty power to the mix, letting you unleash a blizzard of spells, adding a bit of lightning to the storm, and suddenly you're sapping and freezing enemies all at once. If you're ready to control the battlefield with ice and electricity, this build is the one for you. Let's dive into the frosty electro chaos. For this build, we're keeping things simple by slotting in as few abilities as possible, rolling as many as we can to take full advantage of the synergy rolls, and only locking in crucial spells and talents at the end. I've spent around 600 ability and 1200 talent rerolls on this build. Don't worry, it can still work with fewer rerolls. Later on, I'll show
Man,
you
we're way further in than that. That is pretty lucky.
Here are the abilities I picked level 1. Starting off with Lightning Bolt, Frost Bolt, Arcane Intellect, and Tame Dragonkin. The first three are your go-to spells. Lightning Bolt, Frost Bolt is going to be core, Arcane Intellect, mana, and more spell power. But what makes this build stand out is probably the Tame Dragonkin ability. And you might ask, why Tame Dragon? Simply, it's for Draconic Knowledge talent, which gives you up to 15% of your dragon's intellect as spell power, which is a huge boost.
Yeah, I wonder if that was better than just straight up 5% from the demon.
From the Celestial Ridge in Neverstorm to get the most out of this. Grabbing Tame Dragonkin at level 1 increases the odds of rolling Draconic Knowledge early on, setting you up for some serious spell power as you go.
Okay, ads.
Now it's time to focus on core spells and talent that really make this build spark. These are the must-haves to ensure the Frost Conductor even works in the first place. First off, I've broken it into 4 sections just as last time, and the abilities and talents in the top section are the bare minimum you need to make this even function. To maximize your synergy rolls, I really suggest you pick up Astrostorm and Lightning Overload. These cards will help you guide your rolls in the right direction, make it easier to lock in essential part of the build early. Then of course, when you've hit level 70 and you start rolling, if you haven't gotten what you need after using the scrolls you planned, so say you plan on using 400 ability and 800 talent, you'll want to start carding the following. Ray of Frost, Chain Lightning for abilities, and then the Conductor, Cloudburst, and Hydromancer for talents. These are the bare minimum you need for this build to work. Then, for other abilities worth a card slot.
Well, we have most of those. We don't have Conductor.
You focus on prioritizing picking up Energy Bolt, replace it with Lightning Bolt. Hide Trickles, replace it with Frost Bolt. Arcane Power, and of course Bloodlust, because everybody loves Bloodlust. And you can actually find this skill card by killing ogres in Strangleform Vale right here. So yeah, go grab it. For talents, the one worth considering a card slot are Overload Mastery, Infused Energy, and Forked Lightning. Now,
Oh my god.
see the Frost Conductor
This
chain
spawn
lightning.
for
I will
Gurabashi
show you
Arena
both
is
dual
so
impact
annoying.
and single target rotation on the target dummy, so you can see exactly how to maximize your damage output. For AoE, I always start with
Oh my god.
tentacles.
Game,
Leap
please.
straight into chain lightning followed by integral. This we do because we apply the doused
Oh, this
from
guy's
both
farming them too.
tentacles, which is Frostbolt, and from the Hydromancer talent. After that, our chain lightning is gonna hit like a truck. I can send you cycling through Hydrocles, Fulmination, because the Energy Bolt give 1 combo point, so I can cast Fulmination, and it's basically a chain lightning in disguise. Then I go into chain lightning and Energy Bolt, and then repeat Hydrocles, Fulmination, chain lightning.
Looks like everyone had the same idea to farm these guys
Then I
for
basically
heavy
adapt from here based on the situation.
leather.
Which spells are available at the time. The key to this rotation is making sure you're getting slow between the Frost and Lightning skill, ensuring that your abilities are basically buffed up all the time and synergizing at best possible. For the single target fights, start by using your
I'm probably just gonna get enough for one Western in and then stop this because this is a horrible farming spot.
I've created this macro. I hope it can help somebody. I'll link it in the description also.
Oh wait, they respawn.
Makes it so my elemental mastery Icy Veins Arcane Power basically pops before I use Astral Storm to just buff it as much as possible, delivering those crazy big hits. So the Astral Storm, you can move into the same rotation as the AoE. Hydrocles, Chain Lightning, Energy Bolt, and repeat. Be sure to fire off Ray of Frost whenever it's off cooldown, with one important exception. The thing with the Ray of Frost, and this is really where it gets to shine if you can pop this off. If you picked up the talents Shatter, Finger Frost, Empowered Frost, then pay attention to your Fingers of Frost procs. If you have 2 Fingers of Frost after cycle, fire off Frostbolt immediately and follow it up with the Ray of Frost. This treats the target as frozen due to Fingers of Frost, boosting your crit chance through Shatter, which is the mage talent, and then with the Empowered Frostbolt, because you just fired a Frostbolt, you get significant damage bonus for your Ray of Frost, making it crit between 20 and 30,000 per tick 5 times. So you can easily pop over 100k damage with just Ray of Frost. So yeah, that's kind of devastating. Moving on. Our primary attribute is, of course, intellect. And when it comes to gear, the focus should really be on spell power and crit. And the more crit and spell power you can get, the better. However, you will, of course, need some hit to be hit cap. Ascension has
Alright,
great tools to help
that's
you
enough of that. I don't feel like farming
then
in this spot
ready to
because
go
of
with
the
either a staff
phasing.
or a one-hand weapon and offhand combo that provide just your biggest boost to spell power that you can humanly get. As for the rest of your gear, stick with the classic intellect gear. Caster gear, look for pieces that offer intellect, spell power, crit, hit, anything alike. Haste is also a very good thing to pick up. When it comes to rings, trinkets, amulets, prioritize spell power and crit.
Farewell.
For the mystic enchants, you want to be using the following: 3 concussion, 3 endless lightning, 3 lunar guidance, 3 wizards chain lightning, and 3 lightning overload. In the last 2 spots.
Yeah, we haven't even put our mystic enchants in yet. I guess we can start doing that.
Reach hit cap because I was missing a bit, but these can be swapped out for other enchants depending on your needs. Now for the big wish list. This is gonna be one of the biggest wish lists I've made in recent time, and I could almost not fit everything into the epic sections and legendary for the talent at least, because there are so many things to cover here.
We're also not taking time looking through every piece of gear. We're just going to look for the cataclysm pieces and move on.
The number that I've posted. The thing here is with lightning shield, conduit, improved shield, static shocks. If you naturally roll all of those, they can be a great way to dish out some damage if you have a tank just storming ahead with the light parry tank that just run around and pull everything but never really stop. This can be casted while moving, and you can have it last for like 16 seconds. It can help you speed up the process of dungeon you're in. So, moving on. For the rare abilities, we've picking up Flame Tongue Weapon, Earthquake, Earthshock, Molten Armor, and then I've put a little box around Molten Mind, Twisted Mind, Demonic Mind. In this category, you want to focus on Molten Mind. If you get that, that's the best. Then Twisted Mind, then Demonic Mind. Then for the legendary section of abilities, Elemental Mastery is your absolute god here. It's one of the best things you can roll, and I've put a little warning outside of it because it matches so well together with Avatar Lightning and Shamanism. Shamanism basically makes it so whenever you hit things like Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning, it reduces the cooldown of your Elemental Mastery, making it available faster. Avatar Lightning basically reduces the cooldown to 50%, but you no longer, whenever you pop Elemental Mastery, get a free instant spell cast. But the reduced cooldown together with Shamanism, together with Elemental Mastery, the sheer haste that you get out from Elemental Mastery is just absolutely bonkers, because it will be up so much of the time. Fulmination is basically a cracked...
Wait, I missed what he said about the conduit thing.
It's so well be Mastery, making it available up. Flame Tongue Weapon, Earthquake, Earthshock, Mastery, making it available faster. Avatar Lightning basically reduces the cooldown to 50%, but you no longer available faster. Avatar Lightning and Shamanism. Shamanism basically makes it so whenever you hit with things like Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning, it reduces the cooldown of your Elemental Mastery, making it available faster. Avatar Lightning basically reduces the cooldown to 50%, but you no longer, whenever you pop Elemental Mastery, get a free instant spell. But the reduced cooldown together with Shamanism, together with Elemental Mastery, the sheer haste that you get out from Elemental Mastery is just absolutely bonkers, because it will be up so much. Fulmination is basically a cracked version of Chain Lightning, and it fits so well between everything, and as mentioned, it's kind of part of my core rotation. You can swap it in for a card if you roll some of the other things I mentioned, but it's really a nice spell to get as an extra burst of damage. Stone Shard, you can use that instead of Earthshock if you get it. It's basically a Earthshock on steroids, and of course everybody wants a counter spell or similar spell, Silence in the Library for example. These are just absolute godsend for any DPS to have. Moving on to the talents. There are tons of things. Basically, many of the things you see in the Epic session. I'm not gonna go into a deep dive with every single one of them. Most of them are just plain up damage things. Astro Fury, Astro Mind just boost your damage and everything. Winter Solstice, vice versa, it gives frost damage whenever you fire nature, and it gives nature whenever you fire frost spells and abilities. Then of course we have things like Natural Conductor that gives you Fingers of Frost more reliably. Frost Bolt is basically a boost to your Frostbolt every third time. It's like the Fireball talent. So yeah, Stay Frosty is also for the Fingers of Frost. Rest is just bonus for crits or more damage. Storm, Earth and Fire is purely for the cooldown reduction of the Chain Lightning and Fulmination. And then I've put the proc talents in between the rare and the epic section, because these are kind of like, they're good but they're not the best on this particular build. If you can get a Malphasat's Malediction because you have so much frost damage already on boosters to frost damage, that's actually the best proc talent I've seen, together with Arcanist Meteor, because you're fighting so many different spell types. Then for the legendary section, here of course you want to have a look out for Charged Ice, Arctic Reach, Shamanism, Fingers of Frost, Shatter Empowering, Frostbolt, Rapid Shatter, Concussion, Lightning Mastery, and Maelstrom. And of course multiple of the 200% spell crit capstone bonuses can actually be quite beneficial for you, but you want at least one of the 200% spell damage increased. Charged Ice is basically more damage for your spells. Arctic Reach is a boost to your Fingers of Frost. Fingers of Frost basically helps you, makes everything frozen in, and together with Shatter, this is just making your Hydrocles go on steroids. Empowering Frostbolt is just whenever you fire Frostbolt, you increase the damage of your Frost abilities. So, say Malphstat Malediction if you roll it, and especially your Ray of Frost. Rapid Shatter is basically whenever you fire Frostbolt, you can follow it up with another mage spell, Ray of Frost, to make things hit like a dump truck. Concussion is basically your Astral Storm, and your Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt is buffed with more damage. That's it. We love it. Nice. Lightning Mastery, of course, is a flat-out bonus for damage, and Maelstrom is a kind of special one, because Maelstrom is one of the new talents that were introduced.
Arcane Thunder Kit.
Really pop off as far as I've seen. It's one of those that stacks up to 40 stacks. You gain a few stacks every time you cast the lightning bolt.
Maybe that's what that one build was trying to do.
Whenever you hit 40 stacks, your next nature ability is gonna hit like a dump truck. Other things I have not mentioned in the talent and ability. I've seen 2 different variants of this build. One is going for Deep Freeze together with Astral Storm. There's a few combinations there that you can go.
Because I did look at Thunderseer and I was wondering about it.
Into the Maelstrom and more into just firing off pure Chain Lightning and Hydrocles and just focus on that part only and really buffing it up. And sometimes
because part of me doesn't really want to do the whole Ray of Frost thing, which is what the huge gimmick is for this one, which is probably really good damage. But I would like, I kind of want the, I don't know if any of you played back when Booming Thunder was like super meta. I think it was like last season, maybe the season before. But you could walk into a Mythic Plus with like any amount of gear with Booming Thunder on, and it would just wreck things. It would just completely destroy. And you just like casted Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning on cooldown, and then you casted Shard whenever you had stacks. I wouldn't mind having a thing where I wove in Hydrocles or something on AoE, and then Frostbolt or Waterbolt on single target in order to activate some of the Conductor stuff. Conductor. And then what's the... We already have Hydromancer. It's just the extra damage from Hydromancer. Doused. Conductor. Yeah. I guess I am kind of falling into the cardinal sin of ability bloat. Don't really know exactly what we're doing. I mean, at first it started off like we're just roll what we can get and see where we go. But now we actually have a lot of stuff. We have a lot of pieces. So, you know, we have Stormbreaker, we have Booming Thunder, we have Forked Lightning for what it's worth. We don't have the other... I mean, Overloaded Mind is still nice. But there's another one that goes along with that. We have a Hydromancer. Oh, this is the one I was thinking of. Astral Mind. We don't have the other part of that. We have Hydromancer. So we actually do have a lot of those pieces. But we are missing some of the abilities to make it up, but we don't have any cards. So we haven't carded anything. So the world's, you know, we have a lot of options. I think we have a good direction that we can start going. But that doesn't matter because there's Marks of Ascension to get. We have 7. 7 Marks of Ascension. No, that gets you? Nothing. Hopefully no one's farming these up here. Doesn't look like it. Cool. Huh. It would be funny if they had like little Easter egg, not even Easter egg, but little like items you can buy for absurd or just like weird amounts of Marks of Ascension. I'm surprised there's not like a 1 million Marks of Ascension item or a 10 million Marks of Ascension item. How many crystal infused did that give me? None? That sucks. 17k on that shard. It's not bad for our build. Welp, good thing we only need 4 of these. Let's queue up for a dungeon while we're doing this. I think we can do Mythic now. I don't think we're that bad of a DPS anymore. We have an interrupt. So, there's that. Oh, I got reflected? Okay, there's one. I remember doing high risk up here and getting so many crystal infused leather. I looked it up because I was gonna do the Ravagers and like Hellfire up there on that ridge in Terracar. But the internet was like, the drop rate's so low. But this seems pretty low. Alright. Forgot to engage farming mode. There we go. After we do this, we will, this weekend, we'll probably get the, we're going to try to build Elemental Assassin again. Because it was buffed recently. And I want to do quirky Elemental Lord and some other stuff together with it. Wait, did you type that right when I was saying it? Or right before I said it? Yeah, because I feel like the Elemental Assassin, the whole point of the shock buffs is just to make backstab go crazy, right? because you can get, what is it, like 40% extra damage per, so 120% extra damage from having all three up. Even Elemental Assassin proper, I tried building that last season. It itself just seems clunky. It's one of those that's, I think, is definitely built for PvP, where you kind of do a thing, you get your buffs up, and you do an explosive. Oh, really? That's funny. That's funny you type that and then I started talking about it. I didn't see it before I started talking about doing that, so that's funny. Like the Storm Strike reset and all that, like, yeah, anyways, it seems like you do your shocks like you're at range and you like charge in, and then you unleash like this huge combo with like beefed up backstabs, and then you can reset your Storm Strike. That seems like what's the idea supposed to be for, but a PvE build though, in a rotation, it's kind of clunky. It doesn't seem to make sense to me. I even made a weak aura that like played it for you. It just like lit up your screen on what to press and when. And even doing that and like managing it for you, it just didn't seem to work. Yeah, backstab is crazy good damage. Oh, this is the same dungeon that we were in before, and no one had an interrupt or a stun, and we couldn't get people out the other side. Hopefully now it's different. Boom, interrupt. Oh, my interrupt's done. Can't do anything. Please, team. Please. I beg. Yeah, having fulmination is nice. Like an extra chain lightning. $41,000 on the Stone Shard. That's nice. Is this guy gonna get? Yeah, he's gonna get. Oh no, I'm silenced and I'm dead. Man, did you see how many numbers I had going? This is kind of silly how difficult this has been. Please evade, thank you. Welp. That was a thing. Yeah, I think it was a combination of... I don't think the healer was actually even healing. I mean, 648 heals a second. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe the healer wasn't ready. Would focus on backstab and not Storm Strike. Yeah, I think we just totally ignore that part of Elemental Assassin. Shamanistic Rage, Sporting Talents. Yeah, you can take the what's the one that resets the cooldown? Aftershocks? Yeah, you gotta cast Elemental Blast and Lava Burst, never mind. Which, you know, you could do. Like, my melee Elemental Lord, one version of it was Elemental Assassin, where you're doing backstabs and getting maelstroms, and then you're doing, like, Lava Burst here and there, so that essentially you're making your shocks, like, do more instead of it just being a backstab spam. Like, that's the angle that I was gonna take it, just because, I don't know, that's just something I wanted to do. But yeah, the mathematically correct version is probably making backstab just go crazy, like I was saying. What? Why did y'all aggro? Because I hit some pigs. Let's try this again. Well, you mean Frost Flame shock? Yeah, no, Ice Shock. Yeah, and see, my version probably would want to use Ice Shock, because there wouldn't be really any room. The thing when you have, like, when you're casting, like, Power Blast, not Power Blast, Lava Burst and stuff, there's really no room in the rotation to press another button even after all that stuff, so yeah. No, I agree with that one. If you're just doing backstab spam. But this one has a cast time. I think there's a way to reduce the cast time. But you have to, yeah, so I don't know if you really want that one though, because of the cast time, yeah? I'm not a fan of even short cast times. I'm not a fan of doing that with melee. I don't like to think about having to stay still. Four. Oh, I wasn't sure if you were talking about my my build or your build, or your angle or mine. Yeah, because, like, for one talent, if you're essentially doing an enhancement shaman with backstab, which is what I'm saying that I was wanting to do just because the flavor and I like it, you just pick up this one talent, and if you're casting Lava Burst with your Maelstrom weapons, then you might as well get boost to your shocks. So, yeah. Which is also increasing your shaman shock damage. So, yeah, it's the worst version. And of course, that's the one I want to do. Oh, we have 6 now. Might as well keep getting 2 more. Let's go over here. try to aggro multiple. I gotta reach that guy. Kind of want to do all the different elements of Ranger before Elune goes away too. Fire, Shadow, Arcane, Frost. Just to see which one's the worst. Because the best version, I mean, Locust Ranger I think is the best of all of them. But I also want to do like, I don't just want to make them like auto shot spammers with was it combat parachute, like automatic firing parachute, like all that. Like, yeah, obviously most hunter builds are good because they can do stuff like that. But yeah, like if I make it besides Locust Ranger, because Locust Ranger actually has like synergy with its poisons and its wild quiver, like it does want to shoot faster. But the other ones, I think, to be more creative, I would not use those kits, even though they're again mathematically correct. I want to embrace the flavor of it being like an archer with fire mage stuff or frost stuff. And the frost one, when it first came out, I was super excited about the Ice Crown double tap and all the frost archer stuff. Yeah. And like, it was really just an avenue. It was just like a way to buff up more Cone of Cold spam and stuff, and I just thought that was lame. And that awkward like range that you had to be in to make it really good. I do think there's a version of it that uses upheaval, I think. It's like the ranged lava lash. Yeah, 15-yard range. But that might have also been doing some Cone of Cold shenanigans. Okay, we got 8. But I can't not pull this pack over here. Hopefully I don't die. Don't knock me off my mount either. I don't think I've ever been on this low of a mounting speed for so long. And I think it has something to it contributes to how easily you can get knocked off, if I'm not mistaken. Because I feel like I get knocked off on this a lot. Yeah, people with Ice Slash talents, that makes sense. That was the direction my initial idea was going. But yeah, I kind of want to make builds that are like true to their like original legendary enchant direction, just making them more in that same vein, as opposed to like, oh, this broken thing from Elune with this, you know, like the boilerplate broken thing that you do. Now they're dropping for me. The game wants me to sell them on the auction house now. We're in queue, yeah? Yeah, we're in queue. We just need a tank and 1 DPS. If any of you guys are tanks, queue up Mythic, normal. I still don't have a key. And then pray we don't get Akanai Crypts. Yep. We're good to go now. We just need a tank. Okay. I think we have the dailies from yesterday. Yeah, this is an easy one. We'll fly over and do that one. $11. Come on, one more. All right, you're gonna give me the shard that I need, or the crystal infused leather that I need. Oh. What I meant to say was, this pig's gonna give me the one I need. Sure. This game. Okay. One of these pigs has the chance to give me a piece of leather that I need. I can't be wrong about that. I think these pigs have a worse chance than the pigs over there. Because when I killed the ones over there, they were... Well, that's not true. When we first came up here, we started on that side, and it was not giving us what we wanted. You just wait. The day whenever Nothhide leather is on auction, or on the call board, we're making bank. Actually, I think there was a leather item, so it might be high today. We should check that maybe. I think what's gonna happen is like all three of these are gonna give me. Yep, there's one. Nope. Okay, good. All right, sweet, perfect timing. I think it was like a classic leather item. I don't think it was a TBC, or excuse me, vanilla. Okay, we got those, got that. We'll go to a round of quests. We'll do... Whoops, I should just fly down here. Do these rounds of dailies, maybe get a dungeon in. I just want to blast in a dungeon. Do we even have any shock? Dang, yeah, we don't have booming echoes. Okay. Let's look at... Oh. Let's look at the original Booming Thunder. Oh, they were doing this kind of stuff. These builds. I'd like to say these builds are the kind of builds that I would do, but... Oh. Whoa. What's happening? Nani? It says I'm not in the dungeon right now. Have y'all ever had this happen to you? Did the server crash? Doesn't look like it. Oh, okay. Well, there that goes. Guess we'll have to restart it. Looks like it was just client. I think the Ascension gods are telling us do not do random dungeon finder tonight. Nothing good has happened. Well, at least we got an instant teleport. Okay. Are these people spellcasters? I'm gonna die. I think I should cast a stone shard right after doing forked lightning, I guess. My silence? What's going on? Hey, I'm doing damage. Wow, I'm doing damage. That's fun. I'm gonna put this on 2 with the fulmination. This is having that melee is nice for your questing, but man, this is fun. Just blasting. Well, that's not good. Probably should be putting out a frost flame shock here and there. Please unstun me. Oh, I had it. I untargeted it. Oh no. Single target. I can't do single target, guys. Doesn't matter. I just get healed through it anyways. Wow, as little damage as I'm doing, you're doing even less. Such an awkward place. Yeah, we just get healed through that, I guess. I mean, I still want to get out of the chains. Holy, that is going to... It's going to be a struggle. Uh-oh, no. Will this NPC kill us? I don't think so. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, let's put Frost Flame. I think we have some Holy Fire, like synergies, but I wonder if there's an optimal number of stacks for Booming Thunder. I think it stacks up to like 25. Sorry, yeah. For some reason, like my pet wasn't here. Which I guess it gets up to pretty fast, especially with fulmination. Frost Nova dows them? It does. If I use Ice Age, that's why I kept it, just in case. We'll do that there. And put some Ice Bolt in here for single target. Or Water Bolt. Is that there, I guess? Oh man, we're actually gonna have to do the mechanic on this because we do not have the DPS to kill her this fast. I don't remember how many stacks I can go to. Okay, it tells me 49%. Okay, it's one stack per up to 100%. I'm gonna have to get out. Or maybe like the other things, we just ignore the mechanic. Where's my ice block? I was trying to click it off. They're just kind of furious constantly, aren't they? Okay. Well, they're obviously not doing it because they're not up there. Or they're up there, not down here. Unless they're going to drop down whenever I'm done. Should have kept that for later, whenever we actually need to get out of the fear. Oh, shoot. Oh, no, I didn't mean to. Oh, no, no, no. Man. Game really making me work for this key. I mean, after this should be pretty easy. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know if we have DPS for this. Like they're cleaving just as much as I am, or even more. Yeah, if I'm doing the most damage, and they're cleaning that's pretty in an AoE situation. That's pretty bad, guys. I'm not usually picky about DPS, but that's pretty bad. What? 5,000 DPS in an AoE situation. You need to do more normals and heroics before you start hopping into mythics. This is a really good daily spot. It's yesterday's daily, but without people here, we should be able to do it really quick. And then go do our final rolls and turn-ins. Oh, and talking about items, I think the loot bot is like the thing that I've missed the most as on a fresh account. Like, honestly, I feel like I see a lot of people wanting to buy it. Oh, shoot. Why didn't you tell me I had this on screen? I know a lot of people are always looking to buy it. And at first, I was thinking, like, yeah, it's kind of like yeah, you think you want it, like, really bad. And it's like your first item you should get. And I used to say get books and other stuff. But now that I see how many people actually have their books out in town and how much I've actually wanted the loot bot being out and about, I understand. And I concur with that. Are we already done with that one? Nice. Forgot to pick up these. Don't think I can kill that boss by myself. See, like, I didn't even know you had to loot these because I probably had my loot bot out when I did this quest before. I just thought it was like, I don't know, on killers. Cyber Rage Forge Lord. That's what I turn into when I'm playing League of Legends. Wrathbringer. I think those other guys are over across the way. If this were vanilla, this dude would be invulnerable to my, like these guys are, to my nature damage. Spoke way too soon. So annoying. Oh my god, all my ability. They're just immune to everything. All right, they're not immune to frost bolts. Gotta watch a new Daredevil episode tonight. I was not really feeling it the very first episode, but it's gotten better. I've been enjoying. I don't know. The last one was meh, but I've been enjoying most of it. I think they've done a decent job with keeping to. Not that they needed to keep to it, but like taking the parts that people liked about the Netflix version and just, you know, making improvements, obviously, like moving forward. Oh, and like your capital city stones, they come in those bundles. If you don't have those are super cheap. Like I got the Stormwind one for like 20 gold. What's this other one we need? Terror Guard, Protector, and Wrathbringer? Are they just not marked? Yeah, they're just not marked. Oh, that could have been scary. Knocked me off. Wow, this guy's tanky. Terror Guard, Protector. Those were the normie guys over here, weren't they? Yeah. See, I didn't think I was crazy. The emblem just went away. And I'm a loot goblin, so I gotta loot them. Alright. I think that's all the farming we're gonna do tonight. And let's get rid of some of the junk. Boom. Boom, boom. All right, and that brings up to 46,000. We will roll those on the next one. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.